Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, it's great to have you. And the question of the day is, how high can Bitcoin go? Bitcoin has smashed through resistance, ripped through the double top, and surpassed its previous high. It's up almost $2,000 today and over 10%. We have had a ridiculous week so far. We're off to a great start, but the real question is, how high can Bitcoin realistically go from here? Because right now it's looking like with the level of volume that we have, we are going to hold over this 10K resistance. And well, a lot of people are talking about how we could very well see that 20K previous all-time high by the end of 2020. So let's go ahead and break all of this down today because there is so much to talk about. Cryptocurrencies all across the board are absolutely flying, and this is a very, very exciting time to be a part of the cryptocurrency world. So let's go ahead and dive on into that. If that sounds interesting, guys, go ahead and stick around for the entire length of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. So first things first, guys, when this support and actually resistance as well ended up holding, and when the resistance broke, and I'll go ahead and highlight this over here on a daily chart, this was a key sign for Bitcoin to just start moving. So what we have is we had this symmetrical triangle over here that I talked about on the channel already, and then we had the resistance of that looking right up over in here. Now we can see the 1, 2, 3, and even 4 touch points on the top side, and I explained why this was actually squeezing upwards instead of downwards. People were looking at this as a double top and saying that this was actually just a sign of resistance, when in fact it was not a sign of resistance and rejection. This was a bullish sign all along. Now the reason for this is because we have this lower swing high, we have the rounding bottom of the macro over here. We can see this happening almost a year and a half apart, and then the second one happening over in here. What this shows is that there are more buyers down here. The level of buyers that came up on Bitcoin when it fell, it had a 100% retrace from when it got rejected at 10K last time. The amount of buying and bullish momentum that you have to have for something to have a 100% retrace makes it not a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce could maybe be like 30, 40, maybe even 50 or 60%, but a 100% retrace is a sign that this thing is reversing, and on top of that, it's set in this macro higher swing low. So with this actually happening and squeezing over here, this was a bullish squeeze. We have the uptrend and then the pennant forming right in here, and then this was just after this resistance broke, you could see the break, the hook, and then of course the go. Now that we are above and holding above this $10,000 resistance, this is a very good sign, because what this shows is that we are now breaking for the first time in, like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about this, for the first time in like 3 or 4 years, Bitcoin is making consecutively higher swing highs. Now, this is huge because this means that we are pretty much officially out of this bear market. So long as we don't go off a cliff tomorrow, hopefully I don't jinx us, but Bitcoin is looking like it's time to fly. Now, let's talk about actual resistance targets over here. We'll look at this on the 1 day and then we'll go to the 1 week. But now that this has broke, again, we have the 1, the 2, and the 3rd touch point. With Bitcoin being able to break out of this, I don't see any reason that we're not going to go up to at least like 12, 13, 14,000. Of course, we had the previous high over here at 13.8K. But here are the levels of resistance that I see up until that point. So long as we hold above like 10.5K here, Bitcoin is in a beautiful spot. In fact, I would prefer that it come back down and retest this trend line, if we can go ahead and extend it, and retest this guy as support, because what this would be, again, is just another break, hook, and then go scenario where Bitcoin's just showing even more levels of strength and I guess just consistency in this. Now, the volume on today's break, we explained how the volume was squeezing and why I thought it was squeezing towards the upside, was beautiful. You can see the volume candle here, just huge. I mean, one of the biggest candles that we've seen now in months. So a great end to July so far. But the resistance targets that I'm looking at right now are like 12.2K right over in here, 13.2K right over in here, and then of course the 8K right over in here. Now, these are just the previous swing highs. If Bitcoin can bust through this, next real resistance isn't up until like $17,000. And anywhere between $17,000 and $20,000 on Bitcoin is going to be a pretty hard area to break. But I mean, if it breaks that, then again, there is no more resistance besides psychological resistance, and that's something to keep in mind here, because this cryptocurrency, or not this cryptocurrency, all cryptocurrencies, as I'll explain in the next couple of videos in the days to come as we look at some of the altcoins, they are all looking ready, like they are just about to bust the cap off. This is something that, again, we've been talking about. If you guys have been following, you guys have known that I have been extremely bullish on these cryptocurrencies for months now. So Bitcoin's looking like it is ready to continue in the upside. Again, I'd love to see this have about a $500 retrace back to the downside to test former support now, or former resistance now turned support. I think that would be a textbook case scenario, but again, so long as Bitcoin just continues in the way that it's acting right now, great volume, great price action, great level of buyers, and it's being very technical, which I think is very good. It's not going too parabolic to the degree of we're not being able to set support for ourselves. This has just been a nice uptrend, and I expect this to be a continuation of a nice uptrend. I don't think that we're just going to go up here and just moon from here, and then a month from now we're going to be at 20K. I just don't think that's realistic. That's not what we have been doing over the course of the last year or two. And I think that what we're going to do is we're going to see these pump and runs and then back down, and then we're going to see something along the lines of this, and then we're going to break our highs again, and we're just going to keep going. I think it's going to be a methodical thing, and at some point we are going to have these parabolic moves, but that is not something that I would get extremely used to. When Bitcoin's going to go parabolic, you'll know. But when it is in these nice uptrends of how it's flowing right now, we're going to see that. So until it goes like rapidly parabolic and we are moving like thousands of dollars a week, that will be, I guess, a change in pace. Now, $2,000 in 2 days is still a great start for any kind of parabolic movement. No one's complaining there. I think it was like 15% in 2 days or something like that. We're up 11% alone today. So that is the way that Bitcoin is looking right now. A higher high on the daily RSI and even the MACD. Just looking beautiful for the most part. Now, these are a couple of things that we talked about as to why I was bullish on Bitcoin as well. Basically, the health of this chart is so stable in there that I am, again, just trying to not repeat myself, but just continue to explain how bullish I think that this asset truly is. We've talked about gold, we've talked about silver, and cryptocurrencies are here now. So great money is out there to be made. Please be smart. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. This is just for educational purposes. So if you guys did enjoy the content, make sure you guys drop a comment on this video. Ask me any comments or questions that you guys might have. I love answering your guys' questions in the comment section down below. Even take some constructive criticism, so don't be afraid to throw that down there. And smack this video with a like if you really did enjoy it, and maybe share it with someone that needs to hear this. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.